Can a black concrete house feel warm and peaceful? Surrounded by timber, water, and lush planting, it absolutely can. Today, we are exploring its facade, interiors, and garden. Let us begin outside, where architecture meets nature. From the garden, the house reads as a single carved object. Its roofline is low, its geometry is simple, and the dark concrete gives every wall a sense of permanence. There are no unnecessary gestures competing for attention. Instead, the drama comes from proportion. A deep opening at the entrance, a long horizontal window, one wall projecting just far enough to create shelter. The best black facades are not completely flat. Up close, the concrete should reveal subtle formwork lines, mineral variation, and a matte texture that changes with the weather. In bright sun, it can look charcoal gray. After rain, it becomes almost ink black. That natural variation keeps the monolithic form from feeling artificial. Now look at the timber. A recessed front door, a slatted soffit, or a warm cedar screen creates a visual pause inside all that darkness. It does not need to cover the building. In fact, the less wood you use, the more valuable it feels. One carefully placed section is enough to guide the eye toward the entrance and make the arrival feel welcoming. This is also where many dark houses go wrong. If every surface is black, the walls, roof, frames, paving, and front door, the result can feel heavy. The solution is not more decoration, it is contrast. Pale gravel catches light at ground level. Weathered stone gives the base a rustic texture. Soft planting blurs the hard edges. Warm light reveals depth after sunset. The entrance should feel protected rather than hidden. A generous overhang can turn a simple doorway into an outdoor room, while a narrow opening in the roof allows daylight to wash down one wall. Add a timber bench, one sculptural planter, and a low step that seems to grow out of the path. That is enough. The architecture already has presence. Large glass panels are placed with restraint. Instead of wrapping the entire house in exposed glazing, the design alternates transparent rooms with solid concrete walls. The glass opens toward private garden views. The solid walls screen neighbors, service zones, and harsh afternoon sun. This balance makes the home feel connected to nature without feeling like a display case. And then there is the landscape. Wispy grasses move against the still facade. Ferns gather in the shade. Moss begins to soften stone near the water. The house may be monolithic, but the garden is always changing, and that gentle tension makes both of them more beautiful. Inside the living room, the mood shifts almost immediately. The concrete remains dark and architectural, but the room itself feels soft, low, and comfortable. This is not a showroom arranged around perfect symmetry. It is a place to sit close to the fire, watch rain move across the garden, and let the view become part of everyday life. Floor-to-ceiling glazing creates the main focal point. The window frame should be as quiet as possible, slim, dark, and aligned with the concrete grid, so the garden reads like a living mural. A reflecting pool just beyond the glass can bounce daylight onto the ceiling, while broadleaf planting gives privacy without blocking the sky. The furniture works because it does not try to compete with the architecture. A deep oatmeal or warm gray sectional softens the room. Low timber tables introduce irregular grain. A hand-woven wool rug creates an island of comfort over stone or polished concrete flooring. Nothing is overly delicate. The materials feel tactile, grounded, and made to age well. Instead of filling every wall, choose one strong interior gesture. It might be a long, floating hearth cut into a concrete wall, a blackened steel fireplace, or a timber media cabinet that runs from one end of the room to the other. Keep technology visually quiet. In a space this calm, a tangle of cables or a collection of small accessories becomes surprisingly loud. Lighting should reveal texture, not flatten it. Concealed light grazing down a concrete wall makes every imperfection visible in the most beautiful way. A paper pendant or linen-shaded floor lamp adds a softer pool of light at seating level. And after dark, the interior should be warm enough to glow through the black shell. That may be the most important lesson in this room. Minimalism does not mean removing comfort. It means giving comfort enough space to be felt. How do you design a black kitchen inside a black concrete house without making it disappear? You create layers. The cabinetry can remain deep charcoal, but vary the finish. Pair matte, handle-free doors with a honed stone backsplash that catches a little more light. Let a timber island or thick wood breakfast bar cut through the center. Then add one warm metal, aged brass, bronze, or darkened copper in very small amounts. The result is moody, but not one-dimensional. A monolithic island suits the architecture beautifully. It can look like a block of dark stone from a distance, while the seating side reveals warm oak and comfortable stools. Keep the work surface visually clear, but not unrealistically empty. A ceramic bowl, a wooden board, fresh herbs, and a linen towel make the space feel inhabited. Because a beautiful kitchen still needs somewhere to put the coffee. For practical lighting, conceal bright task illumination beneath shelves and cabinets. Over the island, choose pendants with a warm, downward glow, rather than exposed bulbs shining into the room. Natural light can arrive from a full-height garden window, a narrow skylight, or a glazed courtyard beside the sink. Watching leaves move while preparing food is a small luxury, but it changes the entire daily experience. The dining area should feel connected, yet slightly more intimate. A long, solid wood table brings rustic weight against the clean concrete shell. Mix it with simple upholstered chairs instead of matching heavy timber on every surface. Above, one sculptural pendant can lower the visual ceiling and gather everyone around the table. Acoustics matter here more than most people realize. Concrete, stone, and glass reflect sound. Without soft materials, an open kitchen can become exhausting. Curtains, upholstered seating, a textured rug in the dining zone, and even timber ceiling slats can absorb echo while preserving the minimalist look. If space allows, a concealed pantry keeps appliances and visual clutter away from the main room. But concealment should serve real life, not create a stage set. The everyday objects you genuinely enjoy, a handmade cup, a stack of wooden bowls, a beautiful pan, can stay visible. Rustic minimalism feels best when it is edited, not sterile. And when the dining doors slide open to a covered terrace, the table becomes part of the garden. Breakfast begins indoors. Dinner ends beside the water. The boundary almost disappears. The bedroom takes the same dark material palette and lowers the volume. Here, black concrete should feel protective, almost like the quiet wall of a cave, while timber, textiles, and filtered daylight keep the room gentle. Place the bed against the most solid wall and let it face the garden. A low, upholstered frame in taupe, flax, or warm gray will soften the geometry without hiding it. Behind the bed, a wide timber panel can act as both headboard and visual horizon, with integrated bedside ledges that reduce the need for extra furniture. The bedding is where the room becomes truly inviting. Layer washed linen, wool, and one heavier throw in earthy shades: sand, mushroom, clay, or muted olive. Perfectly crisp hotel bedding can feel too formal here. Slight variation and natural texture suit the rustic character much better. Imagine waking up to fog moving between the trees while the room remains still and shadowed. That experience depends on controlling privacy and light. Recess the glazing beneath a deep overhang, use exterior planting as a soft screen, and add full-height curtains that disappear into a ceiling pocket. During the day, sheer fabric diffuses glare. At night, a heavier layer makes the bedroom feel completely enclosed. Keep artificial lighting low and warm. Small pendants beside the bed free the nightstands. A concealed strip beneath the headboard gives enough light to move around without flooding the room. If there is a reading chair, give it one focused lamp and a view worth sitting down for. A dark bedroom does not need dozens of decorative objects. It needs a few sensory details: the weight of a timber door, the softness of the rug underfoot, the faint texture of concrete, and the sound of the garden beyond the glass. For a more private suite, include a small planted courtyard between the sleeping area and bathroom. It brings daylight into the center of the plan and gives both rooms a living focal point. Even a narrow courtyard with one sculptural tree can make the bedroom feel like a retreat rather than simply another dark room. In the bathroom, the monolithic idea becomes almost spa-like. Dark stone or polished plaster wraps the walls and floor. Joints are kept to a minimum, and the fixtures appear to float inside one calm volume. But the room still needs contrast. A thick timber vanity adds warmth at hand level. An integrated stone basin keeps the silhouette simple. Brushed bronze or matte black fittings almost disappear, allowing the material textures to lead. Above the vanity, a softly illuminated mirror gives the face flattering light instead of relying on harsh ceiling spots. The most dramatic option is a freestanding tub beside a private garden. It does not require a huge landscape, just a protected courtyard with ferns, mossy stone, and one small tree. When the glazing slides away, steam drifts toward the leaves, and the bathroom feels completely removed from the rest of the world. That is the quiet luxury this house does best. For the shower, a frameless glass panel keeps sightlines open, while a skylight brings daylight directly onto a textured wall. Add a built-in bench, a recessed niche, and a rainfall shower only where they improve comfort. Minimalism is convincing when every detail has a reason. There is one practical warning. Dark bathrooms reveal mineral spots, soap residue, and dust more easily than many people expect. Choose honed or softly textured finishes instead of glossy black surfaces. Provide excellent ventilation, and make sure water can drain without collecting at the edges. A beautiful room should not demand constant polishing. Warm floors, thick towels, and dimmable lighting complete the experience. The visual language remains restrained, but the physical comfort is generous. That balance prevents the bathroom from feeling cold or severe. Outside, the garden is not decoration around the house. It is the second half of the architecture. Begin with a clear structure. Straight gravel paths, low concrete walls, and long reflecting pools echo the geometry of the building. Then, soften that framework with planting that moves. Ornamental grasses, ferns, mosses, broad leaves, and small multi-stem trees. The contrast between strict lines and loose growth gives the garden its energy. A reflecting pond is especially powerful beside black concrete. During the day, it carries the sky toward the facade. At night, it doubles the warm interior light. Keep the edge simple and close to floor level so the water feels integrated rather than added later. A shallow rill can guide rainwater through the site, turning drainage into a visible design feature. Rustic does not have to mean overgrown. The best version feels natural but intentional. Repeat a limited group of plants in generous masses. Allow moss to settle on shaded stone. Use weathered timber for a bridge, bench, or terrace screen. Avoid a collection of unrelated ornamental species fighting for attention. Near the living room, create a sheltered terrace beneath the main roof. This is the transition zone, part interior, part garden. Continue the same stone floor across the threshold, add a solid timber table, and frame the space with a black outdoor fireplace or a low fire bowl. The roof provides shade and rain protection, while open sides preserve the view. Farther into the garden, the atmosphere can become looser. A path of irregular stepping stones leads through tall grasses to a quiet bench. A small pavilion or sunken conversation area creates a destination away from the house. If the property meets woodland, let the formal planting dissolve gradually into native vegetation rather than ending at a hard border. And listen to the garden as much as you look at it. Water moving over stone, leaves brushing the concrete, gravel beneath each step. Those sounds make a minimal landscape feel alive. Outdoor lighting should remain subtle. Hide fixtures beneath benches, inside planting beds, or along the lower edge of a wall. Light the path just enough to move safely, then allow areas of real darkness. When every tree is brightly illuminated, the garden loses depth. Shadow is what makes the warm windows and reflected water feel special. Sustainability can strengthen the design. Deep roof overhangs reduce summer heat. Permeable gravel lets rain return to the soil. Native plants support local wildlife and need less irrigation. Collected rainwater can feed the pond and garden. These choices are not separate from the aesthetic. They are part of why the home feels so connected to its site. From the far end of the garden, the final composition comes together. A black concrete volume resting quietly between trees, warm timber glowing inside, and water reflecting both architecture and sky. Bold, yes, but never loud. A rustic black monolithic house succeeds through balance. Heavy concrete and delicate planting, deep shadow and warm light, strict geometry and materials that age naturally. Which space would you choose first? The glass living room, the garden kitchen, the quiet bedroom, or the courtyard bath? Tell us in the comments and subscribe for more architecture and interior design ideas. Thank you for exploring this home with us. We will see you in the next one.